And the
podcast
begins with a song of rebellion.
How can this
podcast
be my life?
CD Burners.
Timbo Slice.
He's being weird.
You being nice.
I think he's just getting older.
He's nice.
Like he's being good, but he's like,
You're a good boy. Don't listen to him.
no, it's not like a bad thing. It's just, when you're I'm with him so much that like I notice the smallest changes. And like, sometimes he'll just like we'll get up in the morning. Like he doesn't like pop out. Like he would sleep until 10 if I let him.
He's sleepy now?
He doesn't if I'm like, hey, let's go pop up. Like he'll like get up, but
People
like
were also really mad about that one. How you wash him with Old Spice.
I washed him yesterday before I washed him with Aesop, the fucking dog soap.
All
For
right.
you guys, if you fucking dumbasses.
Here we go.
It's not like, I think that when they do studies and they're like, oh, this is bad for dogs, it's like consistently doing it every day with something that's not meant for them. Like, yeah, if you consistently use something that's not meant to fuck for like yourself, it's not going to be awesome. It's the people's brains are legitimately fucking melting.
Hello, Morgan, or should I say hello, asshole. Dude, you suck, man. The other dude, you're pretty cool, but people need a good podcast to listen to, and you guys are telling good stories and everything, but dude, Morgan, you have the biggest ego for no reason in the world. You seem like a chump. You don't care that you were addicted to crack. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Drop Morgan, get a new co-host.
Fair.
Hey, big fan of the show.
Thank you.
I have a suggestion or like a recommendation or just something or just an idea. B. McDonald, lead singer of the band Home is Aware. She did a interview with Anthony Fantano where she was talking about fifth wave emo. Really cool interview. Highly recommend you guys watch it. But also maybe just invite her on to talk about a album that I guess she would consider, just like talk to her, like, and like be like, hey, cause we'll be a fifth wave emo album, a really, really, really recent emo album that maybe not a lot of people know about, but people should really listen to. And I'm sure she would have some amazing recommendations, specifically maybe Pool Kids. If you guys have listened to Pool Kids, but they've got a really cool self-titled album. And the album that came out before that was also really cool. Or Glass Beach. I don't know if you guys have listened to them, but they're really cool. But yeah, I think she'd be a cool person to invite on the show and talk about an album of her choice. Also, just listen to that interview with Anthony Fantano, because yeah, cool. I love it when you guys talk about like recent shit, like revivalist shit. I do like the 2000s stuff, or even like the crabcore. I mean, shit. If you did an episode about I set my friends on fire, that'd be pretty cool too.
That'd be cool.
Just because I feel like there's a lot of influences of chiptune and electronic music that I Set My Friends on Fire used back in the day that is now kind of being carried forward into more recent emo bands like Your Arms and My Cocoon or Stomach Book, which is all stuff that she talks about in the interview.
I've never heard of Stomach Book.
Highly recommend watching it. Again, would be a great idea for a show. Sure, she would be down to...
Cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Looked it up.
Love the show.
Hell yeah.
Hope you have a good day.
Love that person.
Cool. I don't think you left your name, but thank you for calling and for the tips. We will check out B. McDonald. I wrote that down, and I also wrote down maybe doing an episode on I Set My Friends on Fire. Cool. Thank you for listening. And yeah, fifth wave emo, the new wave.
I'm about it.
The Blue Dave.
I'm about it.
You are. This next one, it's basically the same call, but he says, how about fourth wave? And then he lists stuff from the fourth wave.
I like this guy.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, first things first, I'm taking matters into my own hands and asking you, why is there no emo night date for Palm Springs? Like, did you just say, like, fuck Palm Springs or what? I mean, like, they literally say Palm Springs in a Pierce the Veil song. I feel like that's kind of against the culture. If you don't have an emo night date in Palm Springs, like, I'm kind of offended. And secondly, I really enjoy the podcast. I listen to it all the time when I get ready for work. It is very enjoyable, and I look forward to listening to the podcast, even if it's about a musician that I don't really listen to or an album that I'm not really familiar with. I think it's a really cool podcast to introduce myself to these different things.
Hell yeah.
Great job. Keep it up. Bye.
That was like the best voicemail you could get, because I felt like I was getting yelled at my girlfriend that loves me.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I like that.
Yeah, Emo Night Palm Springs. The venue that we used to do it at, they randomly, I think they went like bankrupt. They still owe us money from last year. So we are not going to go back there because they have not paid us for the last show that we did there. And we've been looking for a new spot. I think we might have found a new spot. I don't know. We've been talking to a few different spots down there, but I personally love Palm Springs. I got married in Palm Springs. It's very near and dear to my heart. I would love to go back to Palm Springs, but it's got to be at the right spot. So hopefully we can sort that out and come hang out with you.
Yeah, I like that. I want to meet that lady. She seems really great. I want her to yell at me in real life.
I just want to know the origin story of AOL free trial and what was the conclusion to AOL free trial. There were really a niche. It was a niche market for the admin of that page, and it was an itch that I had that AOL free trial was scratching.
Is he talking about your meme page?
I think so, yeah.
There's just kind of some unanswered questions, an unsolved mystery, if you will. So just wanted to chime in there. Hope your assholes have a great Saturday. And love
dude,
you so much.
I fucking
Bye.
love these people.
It's awesome.
Like, I really do like these people. Like, this is awesome. Dude, this is exactly like who I wanted to call in. So I started, this is way before memes had a name.
Yeah,
even.
you were like I remember being like, this is a crazy way to use Instagram.
So this was like I met a guy over the internet named Brown Cardigan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an Australian dude. And we would email each other funny pictures.
This was in like 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was and that's how I used Instagram. It was before that the term meme existed. It was just, we would title our emails funny pictures that we found on the internet. I think once it started getting really, really popular, it made it like I wanted to do it to do what I found was funny and not to try and get an audience, with the current meme climate where it is. I don't want to feel like I'm doing it as a job or to try and be like one up anybody.
It got really weird for a second there in like 2015.
Then it was like, Fuck Jerry came out, and like the Fat Jewish came out.
I remember they got in a lot of trouble for like stealing memes.
Yeah, and that's just not like what I was about. It was literally, and also the things that like I find funny, in the climate that we were in, probably wouldn't have been good for Emo Night or myself. But I mean, my Twitter handle is still AOL free trial, and I try and post like a millennial dad, like like a boomer dad. I try to post like a boomer dad on it. It's way harder than it looks.
You haven't found the character yet.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
He wants to, like, he likes like guitars, thinks guitars are awesome, and like lo-fi pictures of like a Frappuccino. And I'm trying to dive into it, but then now with like, if you go on Twitter, it's so hard. It's hard to, it's literally like, it's so hard to be like, what, I think the last thing I was like, what kind of schizophrenia do you guys have? Like, I have the delusional type. Like, what do you guys have? But it was just like a comment under something. It's really hard because I have so many funny things to say, but I really want to try and stay in character. It's hard though.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really sweet to remember that. And I think there's a lot of really good
And they still follow you. So
there's a lot of really good pages out there that are not like the like, I haven't even seen the Fat Jewish or Fuck Jerry in like ages. And like, I think once it became that thing, I like didn't really want to be associated with that or part of it.
I think this is the same guy, same phone number. So I'll play a little bit.
All right.
Hey, first off, hey, it's Jeremy from Denver. Never time listener, first time caller. First off, yeah, I love you guys. Doy. But who you call an asshole? That was a little bit off-putting. But then I saw TJ's wacky kind of a Terrence and Phillip style animation, and it kind of warmed me up a little bit. I'll be honest, I feel like I'm kind of caught in a trap with leaving a voicemail. I wasn't really expecting to leave a voicemail. I was hoping that you would have like an intern who would answer the call and maybe I'd get on there. I don't know. You know, listen, I do watch the Instagrams. I just haven't actually listened to a show. And I think there's something to it. You guys, I love the sound of your voices. I love you guys. And, you know, you're talking about stuff that people relate to, you know? Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, I don't relate to all of it. Shoot, there's bands that you talk about where I'm like, man, I should have gotten into that band.
Well, us too.
But
Yeah, same.
anyway, yeah, I'm wrapping up my thought train here, but I want to trap you guys into a corner by extending this voicemail longer than it should be. And I'm actually not going to do that because I'm a mild-mannered guy. And I just want to say I love you, and yeah, I love you assholes. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Perfect voicemail.
Jeremy from Denver. Great
Huge,
job.
Huge voicemail.
Sorry that we trapped you, but I'm pretty sure we said call and leave us a voicemail.
Very funny.
Oh God. Okay, here we go.
Is this bad? Are they bad about me?
I don't know.
All right.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Just want to start off by saying I love the show. I listen to it all the time, especially when I'm driving to work. It's the best thing to listen to. It was on my Spotify Wrapped as well.
Hell yeah.
Just want to put some self-promo real quick, if you don't mind. My name is Ron. I'm a singer-songwriter. It's Ron with the O that has like the slash through it, kind of like an under oaths O, if you know what I'm talking about.
Is it like that on your birth certificate?
I make some music that's heavily inspired by a lot of the bands that you guys talk about.
Sure.
And so one of the things I wanted to bring up was in the We the Kings episode that you guys just dropped, you talked about Camp Rock. I highly recommend you guys dive into the first two Jonas Brothers albums. Those things are like very heavy, not heavy, like they're pop punk albums, I would say. You know, emo, pop punk, pop rock, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people maybe that aren't into the Jonas Brothers. I don't know if they know that, but you know, an episode about that would be really cool. Check out the song Inseparable on the second Jonas Brothers album. That's like a very emo song. The other thing I wanted to ask about was, have you guys heard of a band called Park? They're from Springfield, Illinois, and they were on a label called Lobster Records with Yellow Card before Yellow Card dropped Ocean Avenue. And they're like one of my favorite bands that I discovered maybe 5 years ago, but they've been around for over like 25 years. Their album No Signal, I think it's their second album or first album, is my personal favorite. The song Clue Me In is the one that I discovered them with. So, yeah, I just wanted to know if you guys have heard of them, if you have any thoughts, if you guys were fans. They're called Park. One other thing, if I have time, I don't know if I'll get cut off, but I heard you talking about in the We the Kings episode about bands that put out albums where like one or two songs are good and then the rest of them are shit. And I heard you bring up Acceptance. I don't know if you were saying that Acceptance first album, Phantoms, is like one or two good songs and the rest of it is shit, but that's one of my personal favorite albums. And I definitely think that one also deserves an episode. So if you guys are into that as well, you know, that would be really cool. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. Big fan of the show. Looking forward to hearing more episodes. And yeah, you know, like as an upcoming artist, it would be awesome to meet you guys at some point. Maybe, you know, collaborate. I mean, I know I'm not like at that level yet, but you know, the future, I'm manifesting it. So yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one.
Hell yeah, Ron. Let's fucking go. It's Ron with the Under Oath O. So we'll listen to AA. We'll listen to your stuff. I've never heard.
I'm gonna put it on right now.
No, don't put it on right now. I want to like sit with it and like
with Park.
No, I've never heard Park A, and I've never heard Jonas Brothers album. But I do think that was like a great call and good suggestions. And it would be awesome to get a Jonas Brother on here to talk about.
Dude, that's a great idea for an emo night guest. Like we should try to get Nick Jonas.
Yeah, that was a great call, Ron. And I looked up I can't find it. We'll have to spend more time on it because we're going through this, but we will.
What were you saying that about the Acceptance
I probably
album?
said
were
it.
you thinking that
well,
the Acceptance
thing
album
is like
one?
I am friends with the Acceptance guys and played with them.
I heard you say that and I was like, we're going to get some backlash.
It's fine. I personally think that I know that Phantoms is an awesome album. I just think in general, I think there's songs that are structured. Like I think that there's songs on there that are undeniably so strong, like too strong compared to the rest of some of the other songs on the album. Like it's not saying that album is shit. I think it's an awesome album. I think that there's just some things that were so much better than the rest. Yeah. Yeah. That like a almost deserved, like I would have liked it if it had like a 4 or 5 song EP. And I think that would have just solidified their place. And also like this, I don't know, dude, since I'm getting into like there's always been like a bridge in like an Acceptance song where I'm like, I don't know if this needed to be there to complete the song. Well, maybe we need to do we should do an episode on I love Acceptance. I love Acceptance. Like wait, was it the guy from Acceptance? Well, he was like our first guest in Seattle. He lives in Seattle, right? Yeah. And then he was like trying to take whippets off the helium in the back. Well, Lil Lotus tried to take whippets off. We were like, bro, that's just helium. Like, it's just going to make your voice high. You're not going to get high. Yeah. Those guys are awesome. They're great. And they're like really, they were around for a lot of this and we've mentioned a lot of producers and engineers that they're like very close with and work with and so Acceptance is very, like low key influential, if that makes sense. And I think having them on and doing something on Phantoms would be really cool. Let's do it. I know a lot of people that like worked on it, and those guys, it is legitimately like some of the people who I know in this scene, like their favorite album. I just think that some of the songs are so good that in comparison to some of the songs, I don't know. It's a compliment. I meant it as a compliment. But thanks, Ron. I like you. That's it for the voicemails so far. Those are pretty good voicemails. Yeah, that was fun. Guys, please continue to call in. Leave us a voicemail. Leave us your name if you want, or keep it anonymous. We will listen to every single voicemail on the show. We like hearing your feedback. We like when you yell at us, but we also like when you say nice things about us. So the poison is yours. Pick your poison. Hey, man, that guy's not wrong. Which one? He's not wrong. Like, I am annoying. And I try and be as humble as possible, but like, I'm just happen to be right all of the time. Yeah, it's hard when you're so right all the time. It's just difficult. So, hear ya. Okay, guys, this was a special little bonus ep of CD Burners voicemail edition. Continue giving us a call. We will be back to our regularly scheduled programming very soon. Thank you for listening. Goodbye, assholes. Goodbye, assholes.